A Jeopardy! Contestant proved he was a good sport when the player poked fun at himself over his memorable appearance on the show. T.J. Tallie, an associate professor at the University of San Diego, declared the blunder my finest moment in a comment under the throwback clip posted on Jeopardy's Instagram account on Friday. The hilarious moment occurred during the Champions Wildcard tournament last fall. In the episode that aired last October, the former one-day champ faced off against California-based engineer Jay Foster and Sarah Reza, a museum program manager from Maryland. Despite starting off strong, TJ stumbled after he mistakenly thought two clues were referring to the late Hollywood star Heath Ledger in a category called the Jokers. TJ had $2,200 on the board when he uncovered a daily double and decided to go all in with his true daily double wager. The clue read, a 2013 Oscar-winning actor, his surname is also the name of Apollo's mother. TJ dropped a zero after he incorrectly guessed Heath Ledger instead of Jared Leto. He made the same mistake in response to the $400 clue in the same category that read, in 1984 he was still known as Leaf when he played Robbie in the ABC after-school special Backwards, The Riddle of Dyslexia. Ack! TJ exclaimed when he got the answer wrong again, before the turn passed to Sarah and she triumphantly declared Joaquin Phoenix was the right response. TJ reacted to the video shared on Instagram, quipping, in a way, aren't we all really Heath Ledger? He also added, this is my finest moment. Third time was indeed the charm, one fan replied to TJ, referring to the final $200 clue under the Jokers during the episode. After Sarah selected it, the contestants were shown a picture of the later actor who played the Batman villain in Christopher Nolan's 2008 film The Dark Knight. The studio audience began laughing as host Ken Jennings read out the clue. His final role was as Tony in the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus in 2009. Who is Heath Ledger? Tony shouted, for a third time during the episode. Despite that being the right answer, Ken couldn't help but pull TJ's leg after his previous two mistakes. No, I'm sorry, that's not correct, he said, with a straight face, as audience members burst out laughing. Yes, it's Heath Ledger, Ken quickly amended, much to TJ's relief. Jeopardy! Is currently on hiatus for the summer, before the game show returns in September 2024. So wrong, it's right. Former Jeopardy! Contestant and producer Ken, 50, took over as host after Alex Trebek's death in 2020. Fans praised Ken as the funniest man on TV after the iconic game show compiled a montage of his best responses to blatantly wrong guesses over the years. The replies to the wrong responses are killing me. Ken, you're perfect, one fan commented under the video shared on Instagram. Alex must be cracking up in heaven, another person wrote. A third comment read, Ken is low-key the funniest man on TV. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation as the iconic theme song of Jeopardy! Played in the background. The audience clapped, their excitement palpable, as the host, Ken Jennings, strode confidently to his podium. For over half a century, this show had been the proving ground for trivia enthusiasts, where only the sharpest minds survived. Tonight was no different, as three contestants prepared to battle wits. Among them was Kevin Turner, a high school history teacher from Des Moines, Iowa. Kevin had always been known for his quick recall and broad knowledge base. His friends and family had been confident he would shine on Jeopardy! And Kevin was eager to live up to their expectations. To his right was Samantha Myers, a data analyst from San Francisco, and to his left, Marcus Reynolds, a software developer from Austin. Both had impressive credentials, but Kevin wasn't worried. His passion for trivia had brought him this far, and he believed that tonight was his night. The first round began smoothly. The categories were a mix of history, literature, and pop culture, right up Kevin's alley. He buzzed in quickly, answering questions with ease and earning a respectable lead. The others weren't far behind, but Kevin's confidence was growing. Then, it happened. The category was potent potables, a Jeopardy! Staple that Kevin had always struggled with. Alcoholic beverages and their history weren't his forte, but he decided to take a shot. The clue read, this cocktail, made with gin, lemon juice, and honey, shares its name with a famous American fighter plane from World War II? Kevin's mind raced. He knew the answer, or at least, he thought he did. Buzzing in quickly, he confidently declared, "What is AB-52? Ken Jennings paused, a slight furrow appearing on his brow. "I'm sorry, Kevin, that's incorrect," he said. "The correct response is, what is a bee's knees?" Kevin's heart sank. He had been so sure of his answer, but now he was down $800. He tried to shake it off, reminding himself that there was plenty of game left to play. The next few rounds passed uneventfully, with Kevin regaining some of his lost money. But then, as fate would have it, the category potent potables reappeared in Double Jeopardy. Kevin hesitated for a moment but decided to try again, hoping to redeem himself. The clue was revealed: this classic cocktail, made with whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters, is named after a borough in New York City. Kevin's pulse quickened. He knew this one. Or at least, he thought he did. His thumb hit the buzzer before he had fully processed the clue. "What is a Long Island iced tea?" he blurted out. The room fell silent. Ken's expression didn't change, but there was a slight tension in the air as he responded, "No, Kevin. The correct response is, what is a Manhattan?" A collective gasp echoed through the studio, followed by a smattering of awkward laughter. Kevin had done it again, another misstep in the same category. This time, he was down $1,600, plunging him into the negative. Marcus, who had been trailing Kevin throughout the game, couldn't resist the opportunity. With a smirk on his face, he leaned toward his podium and said loudly enough for the microphones to pick up, "Guess we should call him the potent potable professor, huh?" The audience chuckled, and even Samantha allowed herself a small smile. Kevin forced a grin, trying to play it off as a good-natured joke, but inside, he felt mortified. The nickname was likely to stick, and he knew it. As the game progressed, Kevin struggled to regain his composure. His concentration wavered, and he found it increasingly difficult to focus on the clues. Every time the potent potables category was mentioned, he could feel the eyes of the audience, and his competitors, on him, waiting to see if he would stumble again. To make matters worse, Marcus seemed to be reveling in Kevin's misfortune. Every time he answered a question correctly, he'd throw a glance in Kevin's direction, his grin growing wider. The audience, sensing the tension, began to murmur among themselves. Kevin tried to ignore it, focusing on the other categories. He managed to claw his way back to a positive balance, but the damage was done. The momentum had shifted, and now Marcus and Samantha were both ahead. As they neared the final Jeopardy round, Kevin knew his chances of winning were slim.